will be really important to this outcome of this ball game.
BYU shot just 2 of 25 from the three-point line on Thursday. Always a key factor for the Cougars that we'll keep an eye on tonight. Darby's first shot off the mark, well defended by Hartsock. Carlino has it stolen away. Davies on the other end with a block of Joshua Lowry, but he's fouled, and then a technical foul. The foul is on Carlino. That's his first, and then a technical foul is on Brandon Davies.
Well, the first part of that particular play is you don't make one-handed bounce passes in the open court. And then he compounded that by the foul and then, of course, the technical foul. So that's not the start that Brigham Young wanted to get off to. But early on in that first possession, you'll see Pepperdine run a variety of things, but they do take a page or two out of the Air Force Academy in that they'll run that Princeton offense and they'll take some time. They love to tempo the game, and that's what they're going to do in this ball game. They're going to take some time off.
Lowry, a junior out of Phoenix, 79% free throw shooter, hits the first. Pepperdine takes a 1-0 lead. Gets the second. Now we're told Davies got the tee for taunting after that blocked shot.
Well, if that's the case, you know, the one thing that I think you need a little energy here. I think they need to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. You know, both teams need to come out. I mean, Pepperdine's been struggling. BYU comes off a tough loss. You know, you're going to find a little bit about the character of both these ball clubs right now.
Gymnasium holds about 3,500. It was an official sellout, although there's still a few open seats, and it's about 60-40 BYU Pepperdine in the ratio of the fans. Double team for Davies. Hartsock, 3 from top of the key.
Early on, they're going to try to double the post. It looks like monstering the post, and they're going to give up some open threes early on. It'll be really important that BYU knocks some shots down early.
More good-looking pass inside. Better finish by Darby, and it's 5-0 Pepperdine. Dave Rose was tense in practice as Hartsock gets open, and a good look from Davies. Dave Rose just wants to get this game over with and get a win so he can get a different flavor in his mouth after Thursday, and all business today during the shoot-arounds.
That last, anytime you monster and double that post, you're going to give up open shots, and did a nice job with that high-low pass.
Darby double team. Deep in the corner. Shot's good. It's a 2-point shot by Corbin Moore, a senior out of Cypress, California. 7-2. Here's Carlino for 3. Moore on the rebound, and the Waves are on the run. Student section is right behind us and making a lot of noise here in the early moments. This is a Pepperdine team that's lost 6 straight. Zylstra on the steal. Blocked by Baker. And a travel on Willis.
Good call.
Carlino right out of the game, and Craig Cusick in for BYU.
You got an opportunity here to go take that thing strong. He tried to protect it. You just need to go into the body and get to the free throw line, at least in that situation. It was an outstanding defensive play by Pepperdine.
Wonder if Carlino got the hook after launching that 3 with about 28 seconds on the shot clock.
That's one of the things that he just has to be smarter about. I mean, not early in the shot clock, not from the top of the key when we haven't even looked into the post.
Darby, another rebound off the Hartsock miss. Baker, baseline, high-arching shot off the mark by Moore. Now the Cougars back in transition. Zylstra slapped away. Lowry all the way in. 9-2, and Pepperdine couldn't ask for a better start.
Great finish by Lowry, going, especially with Brandon Davies looming there to block the shot.
Now it's Davies driving in on Darby. Stolen away. BYU's can't keep their hand on the basketball here in the first few minutes. Darby and Hartsock. Right hand Then again, timeout, BYU. It's 11-2 Pepperdine.
Well, the aggression level in this ball game has been all about Pepperdine. I mean, they've come out and they've hit some early shots, which given them the confidence. They don't typically, I mean, they're averaging about 58 points a ball game. So they've gotten off to a terrific start in the first 4 minutes. BYU needs to settle down, take care of the basketball, continue to go inside out. If they come with a double, just make a couple of extra passes and you'll get the shots you want to get.
Cougars are 1 for 6 shooting to start the game as you see the Pepperdine profile. And you go back to Thursday night, we mentioned 2 for 25 from the three-point line. All of a sudden there's a lid on the basket, and as a coach, how do you get the lid off?
Well, I think you attack off the dribble, you keep throwing it inside, and don't just settle for jump shots. When it goes inside and you're open, make one more pass, go back inside. They watch tape. This is what LMU did. They came and doubled them. Now you know what? They can continue to throw it inside or attack it off the dribble.
Cusick into Davies. Trying to get into the lane. There he goes. Too strong. Abuo on the rebound. And a reach-in foul on Caleb Willis. Pepperdine's been very active chasing down the loose balls here in the first 3.5 minutes.
I really like what BYU did that time, though, offensively. They went to Charles Abuo. Now, eventually the ball got to Davies, but why not post up Charles? He's strong, one of the strongest 3 men in this particular conference. They need to get Charles off early in the game. He needs to have a big game and get his confidence, restore some of his confidence back.
He was a non-factor Thursday night. He picked up those 2 fouls in the first 60 seconds and spent a lot of time on the bench. Gets 1 of 2, and it's an 8-point Pepperdine lead.
One thing you don't realize is that Pepperdine's the #3 defensive team in this conference. I mean, that says something about their commitment to the defensive end.
Abuo for 3. Charles, 26th three-pointer on the year. Gets the Cougar faithful something to stand up and shout about. Willis. Lowry, 15 on the shot clock. Darby right around Hartsock. Zylstra pulls it down. Good defense by Hartsock, the 4th all-time leading shot blocker at BYU. Bad pass by Abuo. Reach-in foul on Pepperdine. And it's going to go against Jordan Baker. Timeout. 15:31 to go here in this spirited opening exchange. Three-pointer from Charles Abuo. As BYU tries to climb back in it. It's 11-6.
The Zappos.com West Coast Conference Championship is right around the corner, and some of the mascots came in to visit.
Hello? Is anyone there?
I think you might want to try emails. Fast free shipping, full year return, or Zappos.com.
A little more, and whoa.
Yeah, nice.
Agents, what do we have here?
An Autobotome. I've only heard about these.
And
we can save them hundreds by combining their auto, boat, and home policies, all under Farmers.
exactly.
Are these legal?
No.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Call Heidi Gaddis at 805-379-1699.
This is Toyota Today. Legendary quality, unsurpassed reliability, and superior value. Right now, you can lease a new Corolla for an incredible $199 a month. Or save up to $3,600 with 0 APR for 60 months. And you get Toyota Care complimentary maintenance. See your Southern California Toyota dealer.
BYU basketball on BYU TV is brought to you by Losi Jewelers and Company, your winning choice for diamond engagement rings. Losi Jewelers and Company. And by California's Platinum Roofing, where roofing isn't just about stopping leaks, it's about maximizing your energy efficiency. There's a good look at the Pacific Ocean right outside the door of this arena. Spectacular part of the country. Malibu, California. See the conference standings. Pepperdine in number 8 spot at 1-6. BYU slipped to 3rd. And game we'll keep an eye on Monday night is when St. Mary's goes in and plays at LMU.
It's going to be a very, very difficult place to play for St. Mary's, and you've got to believe that LMU has a great deal of confidence after going to BYU, and certainly they have the talent to beat St. Mary's at home.
BYU basketball, it's 11-6 for Pepperdine. They led 11-2. The Cougars are 1 for 3 shooting 3-pointers. Hartsock. Right in his area over Corbin Moore.
Anything from 15 to 17 feet, whether it's at the free throw line extended or at the short corner, is his favorite shot, his best shot that he takes.
4 points for Hartsock. BYU is 3 of 9 from the field. Pepperdine 4 of 7. Nicholas Scowen into the game and loses it out of bounds.
This is not a basketball team that has a lot of skilled offensive players, scorers, but they are going to try to tempo this game and try to create a situation where there are fewer and fewer possessions in the game. BYU wants just the opposite. They want 60 or 70, 80 possessions in this ball game.
Davies, right where Hartsock hit it a moment ago, and it's an 8-0 BYU run. Pepperdine hanging on to a 1-point lead. Our replay, the first half, brought to you by Losi Jewelers and Company, your winning choice for diamond engagement rings. Losi Jewelers and Company. Pepperdine hasn't trailed. Don Martin into the game as well as Marty Wilson's going to his bench. Shot clock's at 4. Lowry's in some trouble. It's a shot clock violation on the air ball.
Outstanding job by BYU. They stayed down. They didn't get beat off the dribble. They contested shots, and that was a big key. I mean, the coaching staff talked about, we're going to want to contest every shot to make sure that they don't have a breakout night offensively.
Now BYU with a chance at their first lead. 4 turnovers already for the Waves. Davies, nobody to pass it to, and he travels, moving to the basket. 4 other Cougars standing around wondering what Brandon's about to do, and so he took it to the hole and turned it over.
Well, he got himself deep. He just needs to come to a jump stop, and then if it's not there, kick it back out. But he was actually there. He just shuffled his feet. Anytime you can get your defender that deep, you need to take that shot.
Hartsock's out. Nate Austin in for the Cougars. Don Martin with the ball, a walk-on. Played 15 minutes the other night against St. Mary's after just 20 combined for his career. Marty Wilson willing to play anybody who's going to go in there and play hard. Zylstra, Abuo, Cusick into the lane, slapped out of bounds. It'll be BYU basketball.
Coach Wilson will run 3 or 4 things, but you know, they run good offense. They execute well, but at the end of the day, somebody has to make a basket, and that's where they struggle. It's not been because they haven't been coached well or that they're playing hard. It's just not a high skill set offensively for this team right now. Very, very few players that have actually made a lot of baskets at this level.
Abuo on the miss. Austin for the rebound and the putback, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line. BYU with their first lead at 12-11. Nate Austin at 6'10", another one of the young bodies for BYU, and he's going to be a lot of fun to watch over the next 3 years.
He's got an outstanding aggression level. He's so passionate about the game, but he's 6'10", 6'11", and he has a real size and strength advantage right now. And sometimes the missed shots are the best shots because BYU does have an advantage up on that front line.
Ramon Eaton is back into the game, and Taylor Darby returns. Matt Carlino is in. Cusick is out for BYU. 10-0 BYU run. If there have been things that have led to the demise of the Waves this season are these cold spells. And they may be in one here as BYU has climbed right back into the game.
Coach Wilson talked about those scoring droughts this afternoon, and you know, a lot of that is that just don't have the personnel to make plays at the end of the shot clock.
Darby with the left hand, Austin the rebound. Now it's Carlino to Davies, and he takes a tumble. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Great pass here in transition, led him perfectly, takes it up strong, gets fouled hard. That's the kind of passes that need to be made in transition. A great pass by Matt Carlino to Brandon Davies for a finish here.
So Davies is at the line, and he'll shoot 2. Jordan Baker gets the foul. Davies, 69% free throw shooter. Leads the team in rebounds and steals. Second in block shots. 6'9", junior out of Provo, Utah. Now Cusick is in, and Abuo is out.
We were talking earlier today with Kyle Chilton, and there's only been 2 players in the last 27 years that have averaged 10 rebounds. Brandon Davies being one of them, and Rafael Urgio was the other. So I've had a chance to see both of them play.
Darby hands it off to Baker. 3-point shot by Nicholas Scowen. He's a 34% three-point shooter. That's his 26th on the year. It's a big one. Ties the game at 14.
Great execution off that stagger screen.
Davies. Basket counts. He'll go to the line. Chance at another 3-point play for BYU.
It's going to be really difficult. It's going to be really difficult tonight if they're just going to try to play him one-on-one. I mean, they're in order for them to stop Brandon Davies, they're going to have to come at him hard with the double team. If not, Brandon's going to have a lot of scoring opportunities tonight and a lot of opportunities to get to that free throw line.
Short on the shot for Davies. He's got 4. And it's a 2-point lead. Darby. Now it's Baker. Cusick trying to stay in Baker's face. He's been in double figures in all 7 of the West Coast Conference games for the freshman out of Arizona. Lowry, shot clock's at 8. Corner 3-point shot off the mark by Scowen. Davies on the rebound. Cougars on the run. Davies, few feet outside his range.
I don't think at this point in the game you need to settle for that 17-footer in the first 4 seconds of the shot clock.
3-point shot to answer by Scowen. That's in his range.
Absolutely.
Pepperdine back up by 1. Davies going up again. Eaton on the rebound. And it's Baker on the run. All the way in with the dish. Taylor Darby. Darby now with 4. Davies taking all the shots. This time he's fouled. He'll go to the line. We got a timeout. We'll let everybody take a breath. It's been a frantic start. 10:41 to go here in the first half. It's Pepperdine 19, BYU 16 here on BYU TV.
On my journey across America, I've learned that when you ask someone in Texas if they want big savings on car insurance, it's a bit like asking if they want a big hat. Excuse me. Or a big steak. Or big head. I think we have our answer.
If I could separate what's real from what happened, another day.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
On game day,
we wear different uniforms.
we represent different colors,
We come from different backgrounds,
different states.
different cities. Some have hit aces,
Some have hit wedges.
Some have hit threes.
We are different.
But we are the same.
Competition unites us all.
We are not blinded by winning and losing.
The honor of the game must always be upheld.
We represent our conference,
Our school,
Our team,
ourselves.
the West Coast Conference.
Pepperdine University in Malibu, California is a private Christian institution committed to academic excellence and spiritual growth. Pepperdine's 5 schools welcome more than 8,000 students, celebrating religious and cultural diversity, small class sizes, opportunities to study abroad in Europe, Asia, and South America, and a rich athletic tradition. Pepperdine University, strengthening lives for purpose, service, and leadership.
19-16, Pepperdine leading BYU. We're nearing the midway mark of this opening half. Right behind us in the arena is the pool. They swim in that pool even here in the winter because it's heated. We went out to check it out. 80 degrees, so it's worthy of a dip. The West Coast Conference, now in its 3rd year, sponsoring the conference-wide Represent campaign. Each year, the students, players, coaches, administrators all commit to representing themselves both on and off the court with good sportsmanship. To visit the Represent page, go to WCCSports.com. Coming up at halftime, we'll visit with Conference Commissioner Jamie Zaninovich as we get into the second half of the season and start thinking about that West Coast Conference tournament at the Orleans Arena, where the winner gets the automatic bid. And the way it's going, Steve, it's all bets are off for everybody else.
Absolutely. I think right now you can legitimately say there's actually 4 teams. I think LMU just jumped back into that picture if they can take care of business at home. But, you know, one of the things that I really like about Pepperdine right now is when a coach tells me, hey, we're going to really try to attack their guards off the dribble and create some shots. I know we haven't shot it real well, but I think that's our best opportunity to score. And that's exactly what has just happened the last 9 minutes. They've really attacked the BYU guards off the dribble.
Davies pulls BYU within 1. He checks out, and Hartsock checks back in. Brandon with 6 to lead BYU. Lowry matched up with Carlino. Darby gets the double team and throws it away. Austin and Hartsock kind of surprised Darby as he turned around and threw it into the expensive seats.
The last 3 possessions, BYU has gone to the monster with the bigs with a trap and double. And there was a Pepperdine wave open. They just didn't see it on the hard double team.
Hartsock on the baseline. He draws a double team. Abuo looks to Austin. Carlino, wild shot to the basket. Foul on the rebound against Nate Austin. Well, Matt Carlino has kind of shown his hand the last couple of games. He's a freshman, and he's playing like one.
Well, that's a perfect example where rather than trying to go an extra step or 2 to get closer, just pull up straight up and take that little jumper off the glass. But he tried to do too much with something that really wasn't there.
We've seen him on nights where he's played like a senior. These last couple when there's been a guard in his face. He has shown his age. We welcome those of you looking in on Fox Sports West tonight. BYU and Pepperdine here in Malibu on BYU TV. And the Waves have played a very good first half. That's Caleb Willis. Pepperdine by 3. Hartsock falling away. Darby with the rebound. Moore adds it back to Willis. Lowry, Willis, 3-point shot, air ball.
Pepperdine has managed the double team much better the last 2 possessions. They've been more patient. They're more aware of it now. And that was, you know, they had a wide open shot. Unfortunately, it was an air ball. But Coach Wilson's getting great execution out of his guys tonight. I mean, they're playing with a lot of confidence. And like we talked about earlier, this is a team that typically scored in the low 50s. And tonight they've really, really played well offensively.
Brock Zylstra back in the game. Carlino's out. Hartsock spins. Ran out of room. More on the rebound. Now it's Baker into the lane. A little out of control. That'll be a foul against BYU.
Anytime they can take advantage in transition to attack, you know, that looks more to me as a no call rather than a foul either way, because I don't think there was a foul. But Pepperdine now in transition, rather than walking it up and trying to take time off the shot clock, they're actually attacking and trying to score in the first 6 or 7 seconds when they can.
Second foul on Austin. He goes out. Brandon Davies returns for BYU. Jordan Baker, the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Arizona, his senior year, settling into life in Malibu. Freshman leads the team in steals, second leading scorer in conference games among freshmen.
Some awfully good freshmen in this conference, especially you've got him, you've got Carlino, you've got Pangos. I mean, you go down the list and there's some just outstanding freshmen in the WCC this year.
Charles Abuo. Spin shot off the glass, scores over Willis. Nice move by Abuo, pulls the Cougars within 2 as we near the 8-minute mark. Pepperdine came firing out of the gate, jumping to an 11-2 lead. BYU has had the lead once, but it didn't last very long. Darby, a little beyond where he likes to shoot it. Abuo on the rebound. A game like this, Abuo has the opportunity to take things over. He's a tough matchup. Charles for 3.
We talked early about him getting to the free throw line early, getting some early post touches, and when you do that, he's a much better player. In fact, I think we had that conversation in the car coming here, and it's just really, really good to see the fact that he's tried to start inside and work his way out. Now he's got some confidence.
Scowen over Cusick, answers back with a 2.
Well, he's got a great stroke, and he gets squared up, and when it leaves his fingertips, you think it's going in every time he shoots it.
Davies, here comes Abuo. Charles with 6. Nearly turns it over. Zylstra. Big night of shooting for Zylstra at San Diego on Monday, but an ice-cold night Thursday. Abuo off the glass and 2 more. Charles now with 11. 11 of BYU's 25. We saw this a little bit Thursday night with Hartsock carrying the load offensively in that opening half. Scowen into the lane, and dish to Moore, and back and forth we go. Pepperdine with the lead. Davies the double team, over to Hartsock.
When you monster like that, you've got to have what they call an eye. You've got to have 2 guys, one in front of the basket and one at the free throw line to clog that up, and twice now Pepperdine hasn't had that.
6 minutes to go. 1-point lead BYU. Baker got away with a walk. Each team with 12 field goals. Willis, Darby with the double team. Long 3-pointer off the mark by Baker. BYU with the lead and the ball. Davies throws it away. He saw Hartsock break free down low. Turns it over. Timeout. 5:32 to go here in the half. And BYU leads Pepperdine 27-26. The look of concern continues on the face of Dave Rose.
First you take the jumbo jack, then you add 2 tacos. What do you get? Jumbaco, 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 Jumbaco,
Jack, I don't know why you keep pushing the Jumbaco. Research shows normal people like the jumbo deal. Your classic jumbo jack made with 100% beef, 2 tacos, fries, and a drink for just $4.29. It's all their favorites in one meal.
They killed my Jumbaco idea?
I tried.
Aaron, you're all set.
Great, thanks.
Mike, thanks for doing that discount double check. You saved us hundreds.
What was that?
The discount double check? It's when we comb through your policies to make sure that you're getting all the discounts you deserve.
No, I get that part, but you guys are doing my move.
The discount double check move?
It's my touchdown dance.
So you're a dancer?
No, I'm a quarterback.
Oh, quarterback.
Whoa.
I'm a robot. Get out of here.
Aaron Rodgers got his. How about you?
Rodgers! Discount double check!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
It's January, and Nissan has resolved to help you save on getting in some quality time, getting out more, and getting more done. Nissan's Resolve to Save sales event. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months. Save up to $3,150 on Altima. Visit ChooseNissan.com. Test drive at your Southern California Nissan dealer. Resolve to save today.
BYU TV has launched the Journey to the Tourney, our ticket giveaway on Facebook. Chance to win weekly prizes. One lucky winner is going to get the grand prize. A trip for two to Las Vegas for the WCC basketball tournament. Airfare, accommodation, and tickets to the games. You can enter by liking the BYU TV Facebook page. It's that easy. Go to facebook.com/BYU TV. Provide a valid email address. And then cross your fingers. We may see you at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Dave McCann, Steve Cleveland. It's 27-26 BYU, largely because of Charles Abuo and his 11 points with 5.5 minutes to go here in the half.
BYU now in his own defense, kind of been their staple here to see if they can get a little bit of a run and get some long rebounds off of missed threes.
Baker kicks it out to Willis. Hartsock on the rebound. Zylstra for three, halfway in and all the way out. Willis on the rebound. Our replays brought to you by Losi Jewelers and Company, their winning choice for diamond engagement rings. Losi Jewelers and Company. Shot clock at 15. Lowry blocked by Abuo, and then Abuo is fouled from behind. A frustration foul in the second on Joshua Lowry. And that's going to send Charles Abuo to the free throw line.
Great defensive job by Charles. You know, going to the zone is timely, not just because of the score, but Pepperdine is a 23% three-point shooting team. And they don't really have a dominant inside game. And so if they'll match up with their length, BYU could get some separation as a result of playing the zone over the next four minutes.
Abuo falls off the free throw line, hits the front end. Charles, part of that frustrating offensive night on Thursday. BYU could not buy a basket from the outside. Cougar lead now at 3.
It's what you expect out of a senior. You know, and he's had some big nights as a Cougar, and certainly in this game, he has a real advantage at the 3 spot in terms of strength and athleticism.
Scowen back in the game off the bench. This is Baker. Abuo on the rebound. Scowen has been the bright spot for the Waves with 8 points. Zylstra waits for Abuo to come around the corner. Goes the other way to Carlino. Good help defense by Pepperdine. Shot clock's at 15. Davies calls for some help. Carlino. Off balance shot. Last touch by Baker, the BYU ball. Baker ran up pretty high for the rebound. Couldn't control it. And the Cougars will have it after the timeout. 3:57 to go here in the half. 29-26. BYU in the lead.
It was a classic Vegas night. We dropped our bags in the suite. We caught the game at Legacy Stadium. We had dinner at Twist. Then we hit the town. Things got a little crazy. One thing led to another, and the next day, Steve tagged me in a photo from the Gold Lounge. It was a blatant violation of the code. So I did the right thing, and I reported him. Don't be that guy.
Report friends and learn more at visitlasvegas.com.
In 1952, 5 schools came together with a vision for the future. That vision became the West Coast Conference. Our student athletes strive to balance academic achievement and athletic excellence. From the sunny beaches and landscapes of California to the pine forests of Oregon and Washington, and now to the majestic mountains of Utah, we are the West Coast Conference.
29-26. As nighttime falling on Malibu. We have 3:57 to go here in the first half, which has been dominated by Charles Abuo. 13 minutes of action. He's 4 of 5 from the field. He's hit 2 3-pointers to lead BYU.
Well, I think a lot of the focus the last month has been on Hartsock and Davies. Everybody prepares for those two. And Charles has kind of been up and down. But one of the things we talked about early was him getting to the free throw line, getting inside. And BYU, the coaching staff posted him. It's not like we had a conversation, but it just made really sense to me is that let's find a third scorer, and it needs to be Charles Abuo where they have an advantage.
So far, the Cougar guard line of Carlino and Zylstra are combined 0 for 5. Hartsock with a couple more points down low, and it's BYU's largest lead of the half of 5.
Great execution on that out-of-bounds play.
Baker. Good lob down low, and Darby was waiting for it.
Great pass. Awfully good play for a young freshman to make at this level.
Hartsock wide open again. And Davies and Hartsock been able to find each other here in the first half.
Well, the monster, which is a double-team trap, is effective only if you have help on the weak side. And now that's the third time that Noah Hartsock's had a layup by himself. So they're going to have to make some adjustments at halftime and make sure they have players in the weak side.
Gowan, a 3. Darby on the rebound. Well, that's more on the rebound. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. At halftime, the commissioner of the West Coast Conference, Jamie Zaninovich, will be with us. Highlights and stats as well. That's coming up in just a bit. This is Corbin Moore, a senior out of Cyprus. 50th start tonight at Pepperdine. All WCC academic first team.
Noah Hartsock probably could have avoided that foul if, in fact, he didn't come down hard with his arm and follow through on that, because he blocked the shot, but then he finished it and got a piece of his arm.
Moore gets 1 of 2. BYU's lead is 4 under 3 minutes to go. Davies waiting for the double team. It doesn't come, so he challenges Moore, and Lowry brings down the rebound.
Moore did a great job staying down, contesting, made him shoot over him and through him, and Brandon couldn't finish it.
Pepperdine, as we mentioned, have lost 6 straight, but they have been in games. If they can hang around here today, they'll have a chance. As Zylstra, finally a bucket from the BYU guard line. A good pass from Carlino. And it's 35-29 for BYU.
That's the second time in transition where Carlino's been in the middle of the floor, made a great pass for a layup. And those are the kinds of things that Matt really has to focus on early in the first 7 or 8 seconds of the shot clock.
10-3 BYU run. Pepperdine led it 26-25. Noah Hartsock climbing the charts among best shot blockers in BYU history. And each time we see that graphic, we feel obligated to point out that Sean Bradley's 7'6", and Noah Hartsock is maybe 6'8".
Well, timing is everything in all parts of life. But for Noah Hartsock, he has such great timing, and he doesn't get probably a lot of credit for the lift he has, but he's a quick jumper. He has good lift that way. He's not a big-time dunker playing above the rim, but his ability to jump quickly and then have his arm extended has really been a strength, and it's a credit to him and his ability to time those blocks.
A couple of blocks already tonight for Hartsock. We're near the 2-minute mark, and Pepperdine's a little confused on offense, and Baker hit with a double dribble.
BYU in really one of their better solid man-to-man defensive possessions that time. And I think this is a team you can get out and deny lanes and pressure, because Pepperdine does not have a lot of shooters. And right now there's good ball pressure, and then he just kind of assumes that he's going to be open. But it's a good job by Charles Abua.
Davies back in, Nate Austin's out. Abua was attempting to feed Davies, knocked out of bounds by Pepperdine.
That wasn't a very good pass. They got very lucky there. You know, you don't just make one-handed passes without making some kind of eye contact.
Man-to-man for Pepperdine. Davies backing in, right around Moore. Davies with 10.
Too skilled, too strong in there. In this league with anybody defensively. I mean, Brandon's proved that he can score anybody in this conference down low, if not in the country, and they're going to have to bring somebody at him, whether it's another big or a guard to cover down and try to get a piece of the ball.
Scowen for three. Abua high up for the rebound. Carlino feeding Davies. Davies goes down, and we're going to have a flagrant foul on Pepperdine. And it looks like Don Martin. Let's take a look at the replay. I don't see the flagrant at all.
In fact, he was trying to avoid. He was trying to avoid contact. So that's interesting.
Well, if they took a look at the replay, they see that they would have missed the call. It goes to BYU's advantage. The flagrant one will give Davies free throws and the Cougars the ball. Now a chance to build their first double-digit lead tonight. Davies with 11 points.
BYU's gotten that separation because of what they've done at the other end of the floor. They've actually got consecutive stops, whether they were in the man or zone, which created some fast break opportunities.
So that was like the phantom flagrant foul, but a chance for a 4 or 5 point trip down the floor for the Cougars. Hartsock travels, trying to maneuver around Don Martin. You have an interesting theory about these Cougars that we've been talking about over the last couple of months. It takes 3 players to have good offensive nights to win each night in this conference. And like Thursday night, it was Hartsock and Davies, nobody else. Tonight, Davies, Hartsock, and Abua all contributing, and they've got a 10-point lead.
Absolutely.
So the magic number for BYU is 3. Scowen on the miss. It's off of Abua and out of bounds. And when we say 3 players have to contribute. There's nights where it's been Zylstra, Carlino, and Hartsock, but there's got to be 3.
And we haven't had real consistent guard play, if you think about it, the last couple of weeks. We just haven't gotten up. There's just not been a lot of production from those young men, and they need to get that back, especially whether they're playing home or on the road. If they're going to compete against the top-level teams in this conference, you might be able to get away with only having 2 players score in double figures against a team that really struggles to score, but not against anybody else.
We've got a warning for the bench of Pepperdine. Davies blocked the shot out of bounds. Zylstra steals the inbounds, and it's a foul on Willis, and that'll be his second. The crowd doesn't like it because the foul happened on what appeared to have 2 players going for the ball, but I think the replay will show Willis grabbing a piece of Zylstra right there.
Right there. He got a piece of his arm, and after he went for the ball, then he got a piece of his arm.
Zylstra gets the first. Cougars are up by 11. There's been a strange flow to this basketball game. Pepperdine just came shooting out like a cannon to start and jumped to that early lead. And crowd behind us has been discombobulated for a while, and there's been a different kind of energy on the floor.
Pepperdine wants to make this game ugly. They want to hold on to the ball. They want to reduce the possessions. They're very tough. They're well organized and well coached, but they just don't have right now the depth that's needed and the offensive talent that's needed to probably compete in this league night in and night out. But BYU they've made their presence known defensively. I mean, they've done a much better job the last 5 or 6 minutes. Everything's contested.
Wild shot. It's off of Davies. And that will give Pepperdine the ball and the last possession of the half. You see us behind us? These are some of our newest best friends right here.
There you go.
And we can hear everything they say. We apologize if it's not necessarily what you want to hear. But this is a fun place, small gym, and it's not much bigger than the high school gyms in Utah County, I can tell you that much. Davies, the shot clock did not reset, and that's why Pepperdine had to hurry up with a shot. How about Hartsock? Great dish from Abuo. Halftime arrives at Firestone. BYU finishes on a 15-3 run to open up a 42-29 lead. And the most points Pepperdine has allowed in the first half this season. It's either on the ESPN family of networks or BYU TV, and you can get used to that. And it's a nice thing to have.
It's great for BYU, also great for the whole WCC. I mean, I think it's a positive for everyone.
Noah Hartsock laid a screen and picks up the personal foul. And in fabulous high definition. And if you're not watching it in high definition right at this moment, call your cable or satellite operator and demand it, because it's going out in high def, and it's a whole different world, as you know, with this technology.
This first 4 or 5 minutes is going to be really important for Pepperdine. I know right now they're taking time off the clock, but they're going to have to find ways to score if they don't want to be looking at a 20-point deficit.
Double team for Darby, trying to back out of it. Shot clock's at 7. Lowry driving on Carlino. Willis from the left side. It's Carlino on the rebound. And on the run, as Ilstra holds up. Davies backing in on Darby. Over the double team. Davies with 14.
Willis has had some great looks. In fact, every shot he's had, he's been wide open. And I think that in order for them, he's either got to stop shooting the ball or look for maybe one more pass, because they're running good offense, or it's just getting in the hands of the wrong person.
Darby blocked from behind by Hartsock, but goes up with the left hand and gets it in. Darby with 10. Davies. Moving again to the right. That's his strength. Moore on the rebound. Baker up over Abuo.
That's not a very good job by BYU in terms of transition. You've got to stop the dribble.
Baker's first basket. He's got 3. Here come the waves again. Darby over Carlino.
This is a pace BYU likes, but I think there's got to be more accountability defensively in transition. You can't give back-to-back layups up.
Double team by Davies, nearly throws it away, and Abuo pulls it in. Matt Carlino's offense has disappeared. Hartsock hits. Hartsock now with 14. Needs 3 for 1,000 career points.
Loved it how the coaching staff made him pull it out, run a little set to isolate Hartsock. He knocks the big shot down. Continue to get that separation.
BYU's lead back to 11. Lowry draws contact and a foul on Davies. Davies might have been poked in the eye. And that's number 2 on Davies.
You're in the zone not to give up dribble penetration, and Zylstra just kind of opens the parting of the seas there and lets him get right into the paint, which created that situation. Typically what will happen with BYU, if they go 3 or 4 possessions where they give up baskets, Coach Rose will oftentimes go to the zone defense. And that's what he did there after 3 times they didn't get back on D.
And in BYU's defeats, the opposing point guard has been able to get past Carlino, Cusick, or Zylstra and then dish, and that's how LMU won in Provo, and that's how BYU found so much trouble at St. Mary's. Pepperdine wanting to recreate that, but as you mentioned, they're just not there yet. That point guard play is going to be crucial in this battle to win the conference tournament. Hartsock on the miss. Willis on the run. Darby. Timeout. Down by 15. Pepperdine has cut the lead to 7 on a 10-2 run. And there is Taylor Darby, a senior out of San Marcos, leading the way in his 101st start tonight.
It's called the Munchie Mobile. I built it to give people a taste of my newly revamped classics. I've got a 100% beef patty that's seasoned while it cooks. It makes my Jumbo Jack, Ultimate Cheeseburger, and Sourdough Jack better than ever.
Real tasty.
Crazy good. Insane.
This is good.
Really, really good.
Juicy, is that?
Well, Mr. Raji, we could save you hundreds by doing a discount double check.
Not you too, Raji. You're on my team. You know that's my move.
The discount double check?
No, it's my touchdown dance, man.
Here we go again. Sir, you're not even doing it right. Raji, drop it.
Show me what you got, Raji.
What is this?
Come on now. You said you were a dancer.
Where you going, buddy? Come on back.
You could save big.
Discount double check.
Discount double check! Ow!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
For all that's out there, Range Rover Sport, powered by intelligence.
BYU basketball on BYU TV is brought to you by Losi Jewelers and Company, your winning choice for diamond engagement rings. Losi Jewelers and Company. And by California's Platinum Roofing, where roofing isn't just about stopping leaks, it's about maximizing your energy efficiency. Pepperdine is celebrating their 75th year, and they have won 5 or more NCAA Division I championships in 5 different men's sports. And they've had a lot of great success. President Cecil Samuelson, his wife, Kevin Worthen, Vice President, and his wife on hand today, checking out the Cougars on the road.
Little token pressure by Pepperdine right now.
Carlino blocked from behind. Baker got up and swatted it away. A momentum surge for the Waves. Two-point shot. Baker makes the block on one end, hits the bucket on the other. 5-point game.
Great presence for a young player, new to this league as a freshman.
Davies. No match for Corbin Moore.
You just can't play him one-on-one. I mean, I just don't see anybody in this league that if you're going to give that kind of space, he's going to get that thing to the rim and either score or get fouled.
Davies was 16. 48-41, BYU. Baker passes on the open shot, blocked by Davies. Corner for Moore. Pepperdine shooting 71% from the field here in the second half. They've cut the Cougar lead to 4. Davies double teamed and fouled. Lowry and Moore were after him. Lowry's going to pick up the personal foul.
One thing Pepperdine can do here is in a situation where rather than doubling with the other big, come down and trap with the guard, which they tried there.
48-44 BYU with 14:57 to go.
The Zappos.com West Coast Conference Championship is right around the corner, and some of the mascots came in to visit.
Hello? Is anyone there? I think you might want to try emails. Fast free shipping, full year return, or Zappos.com.
In 1952, 5 schools came together with a vision for the future. That vision became the West Coast Conference. Our student athletes strive to balance academic achievement and athletic excellence. From the sunny beaches and landscapes of California to the pine forests of Oregon and Washington, and now to the majestic mountains of Utah, we are the West Coast Conference.
At Original Retro Brand, we make the softest, best-fitting t-shirts in the world. You might wonder how we do that. First, we measure them correctly, and then we beat them with our collection of 347 steel hammers. If after wearing Original Retro Brand you don't believe it's the softest, sexiest, best-fitting tee in the world, that's your right. But don't forget about those hammers we mentioned. The Original Retro Brand. Check out our stuff at originalretrobrand.com.
48-44, BYU hanging on to the lead. The Waves have outscored the Cougars 15-6 here in the second half. How are they doing it?
Well, they've got stops, and then they push the ball in transition. And BYU has not gotten back to stop the ball. The first thing you have to do to stop offensive transition is to stop the ball. And consequently, Pepperdine just continues to attack, whether it's up the sideline or the middle. Another example right there. No one back, no one stopping the ball. And that's why you had a 15-6 run right there at the beginning of the first half.
Some scores from around the league. Gonzaga open up an 11-point lead now in San Diego in the second half. San Francisco wins by 1 at Portland. St. Mary's at Santa Clara a bit later on. Here in Malibu, it's BYU 49 and Pepperdine 44. Brandon Davies now with 17. 18 to lead Dave Rose and the Cougars.
It's so much more difficult for Pepperdine in the half court to score than it is when the floor is open. You have 90 feet to work. Here it really requires the ability to really break them down off the dribble or create and make plays on your own, and that's not one of their strengths.
Scowen back in the game off the bench for the Waves. Moore turns around too hard. Abuo, who has been quiet in this second half, charges into the forecourt and throws it away. Scowen ties it up with Cusick. Possession arrow favors the Waves. Our replay in the second half is brought to you by California's Platinum Roofing, where roofing isn't just about stopping leaks, it's about maximizing your energy efficiency.
Charles just got really casual with that pass, and I think that Pepperdine's not going to stop playing hard. I mean, whether they score or not. And I think the thing I love about Pepperdine and Coach Wilson, the job he's done here, is he's got these young men believing. And when they certainly don't have the talent level that BYU has, they've really competed tonight, and that's a perfect example of diving on the floor for a loose ball.
Off of the foot of Cusick and out of bounds.
Those kind of unforced errors that Charles just made there are the things that kind of give a coach a serious headache. I mean, it's like there's no reason for that turnover to take place.
Watching Cougar basketball tonight on BYU TV and Fox Sports West. 6-point game. The Waves are led by as many as 9. BYU is led by 12. Cusick up with the loose ball. Zylstra for three. He's fouled by Moore. He'll go to the line and he'll shoot three. That's a second foul on Corbin Moore at 6'10", out defending against Zylstra. And that's a big break for BYU.
You just don't foul jump shooters. There's just no reason to foul. And, you know, contest it, get an arm up, but you can see he was out of control. And, wow.
Not much of a foul.
That wasn't much of a foul, if any at all. But regardless, go straight up. Don't bring the arm down. You never want to foul a jump shooter.
One interesting stat worthy of noting. BYU shot 25 three-pointers in the loss Thursday night to LMU. And granted, a bunch of those came in the last couple minutes when they were in panic mode. But tonight, they've attempted just 6.
Well, they've got to find a balance. And that's a great coaching staff over there. And I know we haven't been in their practices the last day or two. But I can tell you this right now, that the strength of this team is at the 3, 4, and 5. No matter how we look at it, no matter what the circumstances are, that ball needs to go to Hartsock and Davies. And tonight, Abuo is playing under control and making that contribution. After that, everything's a bonus.
Anson Winder checks in for the first time tonight for BYU. Cougar lead is back to 8. Baker over Winder. Willis keeps it alive, but Davies, now it's Cusick pulling it out. Davies, one-hander, foul, they'll go to the line. Ramon Eaton, freshman out of Sacramento, picks up the personal.
Davies lucky here. It looked like he may have shuffled his feet. He picks both feet up right there. That's a travel, but he went strong again and got the foul. That's where the ball needs to go.
Davies with 19 now to lead BYU.
The earlier they can get the ball, BYU, into the low post, the easier it is for them to score. It's much more difficult in the half court because it's easier for them to double team. But in transition, that's a great place for the ball to go.
And unlike years past, this is not a great BYU free throw shooting team. We've seen plenty of misses again here tonight. Moore over Davies. And now Moore in double figures with 10.
He's really been solid tonight. And that's the weakness of every zone, but a lot of teams don't have somebody who can make that shot.
Hartsock trying to get it to Zylstra. Zylstra had left, and Cougars turned it over.
Kind of just letting Pepperdine hang around here a little bit, and it's kind of a dangerous time and for both teams, really, because Pepperdine can't afford BYU to make a run, but certainly BYU playing on the road needs to get command of this game and get the separation they had at halftime.
Yeah, and if there was a thought, and there was a thought for a while that BYU would just dominate this league outside of Gonzaga and St. Mary's, that is not the case. These are tough battles. Baker on the miss. Zylstra brings down the rebound. We're going to see a dogfight in San Francisco when BYU heads over there. Foul away from the ball. And a push in the back on Caleb Willis, trying to deal with Brandon Davies and his big night. Timeout, 53-46. BYU with 11:50.
On game day,
we wear different uniforms.
we represent different colors,
We come from different backgrounds,
different states,
different cities. Some have hit aces,
some have hit wedges.
Some have hit threes.
we are different.
but we are the same.
Competition unites us all.
We are not blinded by winning and losing.
The honor of the game must always be upheld.
We represent our conference,
Our school, our team,
Ourselves.
the West Coast Conference.
We both did it in just 8 short months, and you can too. At 40 College, we took the fast track to great careers as pharmacy technicians. 40 College got us in one of the nation's best hospital systems, and we've worked here for more than 5 years. Yes, we are twins, and we did it, and you can too.
Start your great new career in healthcare at 4D College with free lifetime job placement assistance and financial aid for those who qualify. Call 800-600-5422 today or go online to the number 4dcollege.edu.
If you like movies as much as I do, you're going to love Charter on Demand. Enjoy watching top movies and blockbusters, with many of them available the same day as DVD release. This month on Charter on Demand, watch Moneyball, Ides of March, Real Steel, and so much more. Ordering is easy. Just go to Channel 1, select your category, choose your favorite title, and then sit back and enjoy. Charter on Demand. Watch what you want, when you want, from the comfort of your own home. Go to Channel 1 today.
'53-46, 11:59 to go. There's a look from the Pepperdine campus. Pacific Ocean earlier today. Storms came in early this morning and then kind of moved out, gave us some sunshine. Here's what's ahead for BYU. This is the most critical stretch of the season. At Virginia Tech Wednesday, then home for St. Mary's, and then Gonzaga comes the following Thursday.
Well, those two ball games are going to have a lot to do with who wins this conference. And if BYU can sweep St. Mary's and Gonzaga, they're going to put themselves in a great position to win this conference title.
Pepperdine will go over to San Diego and then home for Santa Clara. Gonzaga looming on February 4th. Tonight, BYU 53-46. Hartsock in the double team.
Pepperdine showing zone tonight for the first time.
Winder for three. Foul on the rebound. And it's going to go against Nicholas Scowen, a sophomore out of Norway. Played the Norwegian senior national team over the summer. That'll be Cougar ball out of bounds.
Biggest challenge is rebounding out of his own, and that was a perfect example of the lack of accountability, because you don't really have a man, you have an area. You've got to go find a man.
See the second half shooting for both clubs. Zylstra for three. Another miss. Davies goes flying. Eaton on the rebound. Pepperdine on the run. Hartsock knocks the ball out of bounds. And it'll be Pepperdine ball.
Nice job by Noah Hartsock here. I mean, he got back. He had to run the floor. And he did just that. You see as he takes off, he's got to get there. Otherwise, they're going to give up a layup. And he got his hand and deflected that thing out of bounds. Great effort by Brandon Davies as well, getting up and running out.
Charles Abuo back in. Zylstra goes out. Reach and foul on Davies, defending against Darby. Don Martin back into the game for Pepperdine. Nate Austin ready to check in for BYU. Davies going to come out now with 3 personal fouls at the 11-11 mark. Quick foul on Austin before they could even get the ball inbounds, and that's his third.
Also number 33, Nate Austin, his third, 4th team foul.
Zone defense now greets the Waves out of the break. Baker looking for a lane. Martin got it down there, surrounded by Hartsock and Austin. 12 seconds on the shot clock. It'll be Pepperdine ball.
Pepperdine's trying to attack, trying to make a lob pass, but you're throwing it to among the trees there. It's a real difficult play to make.
Baker has to force one up over Cusick. Good defense. Abuo brings down the ball. Charles, 13 points in that first half. standing around for the Cougars. Shot clock under 10. Now it's at 3. Abuo blocked by Baker. Shot clock violation. What a defensive stand for Pepperdine. And how does BYU settle for that shot after 35 seconds with the ball?
Well, I think what happened is that they got complacent and they quit attacking. And I think that you can do things off the dribble. You can set ball screens, or the bigs can take it, because they weren't even doubling down there. So they're just content to throw it around the perimeter. And Pepperdine did a great job there.
Darby trying to get the Waves a little closer. Down on the block. In some trouble. And fouled by Hartsock, and it goes. That was a desperation shot by Darby, and he got the contact, and then it goes in. Look at this. He's like, I'm just going to go up.
Pretty athletic, incredible play there, but BYU contested, and doesn't hurt to have a little bit of luck go with you as well.
Winder checks out, and Zilstra's back in. Hartsock spins past Darby. Austin on the rebound and the putback.
Big rebound, big basket for BYU with 9 minutes to go in this game.
4 points now for Austin.
This game is now being played at Pepperdine's pace. I mean, they're controlling tempo, trying to keep it close and reduce the number of possessions.
3-point shot off the mark by Martin. He hasn't made a basket all year in limited play. Scowen's made a lot of buckets. He shoots an air ball. Austin on the rebound for BYU. Hartsock picked up by Darby. Contact, and Noah will go to the line to shoot 2.
You just can't let an offensive player have 2, 3 dribbles and get right to the rim. It's just really, really hard, especially the talent level that Noah Hartsock and Brandon Davies are. You can't do that. You've got to come at them and force them to make a shot from the outside. And BYU has not shot the 3 ball that well tonight. Why not take that opportunity and force them to beat you from the perimeter rather than giving them something right at the basket?
It's a 3rd foul on Taylor Darby. He'll sit down for a moment, and Corbin Moore checks back in. Hartsock, 16 points on the night. Next bucket will put him over 1,000 for his career at BYU. With Darby out, where will the offense come? Another 3-point shot. Not even close for Martin.
BYU went to the zone defense that time, which they'll do oftentimes after a couple of scores.
Hartsock, contact, and he'll go to the line, and he'll shoot 2 more.
I hate to be repetitive, but you just can't keep giving him 3 and 4 dribbles. I mean, and he's too skilled a player. 3 dribbles, he's right there. Jordan Baker needs to get back in this basketball game. He's kind of the guy that guides and directs them, and Pepperdine has not looked good offensively the last 3 possessions against the zone.
Hartsock shot's good. That gives him 1,000. And let's just put that in perspective. He's played most of his career next to Jimmer Fredette and Jackson Emery, and somehow in between all those shots, he's managed to hit 1,000 for his BYU career. Started 65 times with Fredette, and now the leader and the leading scorer of this team. And over 1,000 for his career, Noah Hartsock.
In my short time covering this basketball team with BYU TV, this young man has taken this team, put him on his back, and Brandon Davies has had special nights, but it's always been Noah Hartsock to make the big, meaningful baskets.
BYU lead back to 10. Baker's back in the game. Hartsock's out. Baker held up by Cusick. It's going to count. Chance at a three-point play. And he'll have that chance after the break. 7:40 to go. 59-51 BYU on BYU TV.
For friends. For fun. For life. Forget the forecast, because the weather is seasonal. Life isn't. Introducing the all-new, all-affordable, all-season class leader, Extra 4X. Receive a $50 rebate at KumoTireUSA.com. Let's go.
Secondhand smoke affects everyone's health. It's not just irritating. It can cause heart disease and even death. Speak up about secondhand smoke. Your health and the health of your family depend on it.
If you're looking at luxury hybrids, you need to know that only one is the most fuel-efficient luxury sedan in America. In other words, all things being equal, they're not. The 2012 Lincoln MKZ Hybrid. It's not just luxury. It's smarter than that.
59-51. BYU with the lead with 7:40 to go here at Firestone Fieldhouse in Malibu, California. For up-to-date news and information about the West Coast Conference, go to WCCSports.com. Dave McCann, Steve Cleveland, it's good to have you with us on this Saturday night. This is the best road trip in America. We've been up and down the Pacific Coast Highway, checking it out. And it's quite the place to visit, isn't it?
You know what? My favorite place on the planet is anywhere there's a beach. And this is one of the prettiest places in America.
Baker at the line to complete the three-point play. Abuo chases down the ball. Davies gets more off his feet, spins to the basket, gets the foul. And a chance at a three-point play. Davies now at 21 to lead BYU.
Brandon Davies turns, shows the ball. Cardinals in basketball defensively is to leave your feet, and then he spins and finishes. Very mature, solid move. That's a very high-level post move.
Davies at the line tonight, 9 of 11. 6 of 12 from the field. And BYU's lead back to 11.
You know, Pepperdine shooting 50% in the second half, which is one of their best shooting nights of the year. But they're going to have to do something defensively. They've got 7 minutes here to kind of get back into this game, and they just can't continue to give deep post touches to Hartsock and Davies.
Moore over Davies. That ends a 9-3 BYU run.
Got a nice, sweet, soft touch there. Keeps the ball up high.
12 for Moore. Right back to Davies. And he's fouled again. That'll be 4 on Moore. Now they'll go against Lowry on the reach-in. Davies gets 2 free throws. That's 4 on Lowry. So pick your poison. Either 4 on Lowry or 4 on Moore. And Lowry picks up the 4th foul. There's a loyal fan. I think we all miss getting jimmered. Jimmer and the Sacramento Kings will be in next Saturday. Take on the Utah Jazz. It'll be Jimmer's return to the Beehive State.
He'll have a warm welcome there, I'm sure, from all the state of Utah. did so many special. No matter whether you're a BYU fan or not, he was a special collegiate player that really caught the attention of the entire country.
And we've been all over the country with this basketball team this season, and there've been number 32 jerseys everywhere.
Absolutely.
64-53.
A year or two from now, there might be a lot of zero jerseys as well. Brandon Davies is just turning into an outstanding five-man at the collegiate level.
And there'll be a lot of 10s, too, before Matt Carlino's career is over at BYU. A replay in the second half brought to you by California's Platinum Roofing, where roofing isn't just about stopping leaks, it's about maximizing your energy efficiency. Ramon Eaton with a bucket. Speaking of freshmen out of Sacramento. Back to 9. Hartsock in position. Darby on him. Now they'll try the other side with Davies. Big advantage. Kick back out to Abuo. And Charles with his first basket of the second half.
That might have been the best possession of the night. 2, 3 post touches, inside out, kicks a pull-up, balance, knocks it down. And they're playing with a real purpose, and that's the influence of very, very good coaching. I mean, they understand their roles and how they're supposed to play, and that was a perfect example of it.
Abuo with 15. Baker. Here's Eaton in the corner. Shot clock's at 10. Scowen double team. Darby over Davies. Darby with a career high 19. An official timeout. And let's take a look at the replay while they sort out who called the timeout. Be a 30-second timeout called by BYU. See Darby with his career high 19th point.
That was an example of Brandon Davies doing exactly what Pepperdine's been doing at the other end, and that is giving someone a 2-foot paint post touch. And it's hard to guard anybody at this level just with your hands straight up at that deep into the paint. So it's not typical of BYU's defense. Normally they're more top side. You know, the thing about Pepperdine is that they've controlled the tempo of this game, and BYU may well win this basketball game. But I think when it's all said and done, Coach Wilson's got to be extremely proud of his effort of his team and getting everything he can out of his Pepperdine team.
Pepperdine will be in Provo on February 11th, right here on BYU TV. Cusick goes down in the scramble for the loose ball, and Baker will pick up the personal foul. That'll send Cusick to the line.
Gotta love that. There's your freshman, Jordan Baker. He's doing a little bit of everything for Pepperdine, and you'd much rather have that kind of aggression level, even though it ended up being a foul and may cost him 2 points. I like that kind of an aggression level, especially from a freshman.
Cusick way off the mark. You look at the free throw shooting for this BYU team. Cusick 69%, Zylstra 65%, Carlino 77, Davies 69, Abuo 74. Not the numbers that you want to have this late in the season. And the numbers don't lie. When
you consider it's a 50% field goal shooting team, that's a little bit surprising because they're a very good shooting team. I mean, the other night was more of an aberration, but they've proved over 20-some games that they can shoot 50%.
BYU is 2 of 9 so far tonight shooting three-pointers. Baker over Zylstra. Davies on the rebound. He's fouled by Caleb Willis. And that's a number 4 on Willis. We're going to start losing some waves here with a trio of players all sitting on 4 personal fouls. Davies to the line with 4:35 to go and a 10-point lead.
That's a tough call. He got all ball in between the arms, no contact. That's why Coach Wilson was so upset. It was right in front of him, and I don't really actually think there was a foul there, but that's how it got called, and we're shooting 2 free throws down there. BYU shooting 2 free throws.
Lowry and Moore return. And Eaton and Willis going to go out. As you see, Hartsock and Davies, the Cougars with 4 players. Averaging double figures, although Carlino has cooled off the last couple of games. And Carlino is 0 for 4 tonight. So that's why we've seen a little more of Cusick here in this second half. And you get a little older player and settle things down a little bit.
Well, and I think that Cusick understands, probably has the experience, understands the importance of the inside out. And sometimes, you know, it doesn't always happen that way, but that's why Mark's playing. That's why Mark Cusick's on the floor.
BYU Stanford in a volleyball clash. Friday, February 3rd, 9 Eastern on BYU TV. The Cougars beat 5th-ranked USC last night on BYU TV, playing the Trojans again tonight in Provo. And they are a team to watch in the Smith Fieldhouse and right here on BYU TV if you can't get a ticket. And that's a tough ticket on campus.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, I tell you, there's great energy and
You were a big volleyball player growing up.
I played a little volleyball, mostly on the beach and not in front of anybody, but it's fun to play. More fun to watch.
Brendan Davies with 26. Remember his career high of 28 against St. Mary's. He's closing in on that. Missed three-point shot by Scowen. 12-point lead for BYU.
You're going to see BYU execute now. You know, unless they have a transition opportunity, they're going to come down and run some half-court sets. More than likely, it's going to end up eventually into a post feed.
Davies gets Darby off his feet. He's fouled again. It's either Moore or Darby, and it's 5 on whoever it is. Timeout, 3:53 to go. 69-57 BYU.
Sweetheart, we need to talk. I've seen your stunts online.
I can explain.
Jumping a ramp in a shopping cart. So 2005.
Wait,
and
what?
only 3 likes? Honey, it's embarrassing. Carol's son got over 12 million views on that dancing squirrel video. Don't you want that?
I suppose.
No. Go make your dad and me proud. Try something funny.
Now, everyone's up to speed. High-speed internet is more affordable than ever with no home phone required. AT&T.
Strike to the mid-chest. He takes him off the ropes, grabs him into a full Nelson. He's on the deck for the count. The master of muscle. This guy is the toughest, the meanest, the most respected wrestler of our time.
Right now, lease your S60 T5 for $299 a month and pay nothing to repair or maintain your Volvo for 5 years.
My boyfriend and I were going on vacation, so I used my city thank you card to pick up some accessories. A new belt, some nylons, and what girl wouldn't need new shoes? We talked about getting a diamond, but with all the thank you points I've been earning, somebody left the gate on. I flew us to the rock I really had in mind.
The City Thank You Card. Earn points you can use for travel on any airline with no blackout dates.
On the floor. Well, a lot of that's due to the fact that number one, there's what a great opportunity to save a ball there. But everything's within 2 or 3 feet, and they're going to have to either foul him or let him score. And here's a perfect example of that. I mean, you just can't let a skilled player as Brandon Davies is get that close without either fouling him or giving up 2 points. And that's why he's been to the free throw line 16 times, and now we're going to add 2 to that.
Taylor Darby on the other end having a career night with 19 for Pepperdine. Pretty good showing of BYU fans here at Firestone on both sides of the floor. And they've had a little more to cheer about. Abuo high for the rebound. (70-57). Davies. Zylstra for 3. Gets his own rebound. Pops up another one. Another miss. Moore for three. Another rebound for Davies. Silstra 0 for 4 shooting threes. BYU hasn't made one in the second half. They have just 2 on the game. Davies high up over Moore to tie his career high.
Well,
now he's got 29, so he's got a new career high.
He's feeling it. He's had a lot of touches in this game, and that's really, really smart on the part of BYU to take advantage where they can't guard, and that's certainly in the low post. If they're not going to double, they're going to give it up.
Baker, no lane to the basket. Lowry for 3. Joshua Lowry, a junior out of Phoenix, cuts the lead to 12. And Pepperdine with a 30-second timeout.
Good zone attack. Steps up, gets his feet squared, knocks it down.
This is a Pepperdine team that lost a lot of guys from last year's squad that produced a lot of points.
You know, they lost 45 points from players they thought were going to return. Michael Thompson, who's in the NBA as a junior, averaged 14 a game. Keon Bell, who left the team, averaged almost 19 a game. And then Lauren Jackson, who was in the program, got tore an ACL, averaged 13. So you had a lot of losses. And besides that, they've had 4 other players injured. So what I see Marty Wilson do, you know, he's got a theme here, both feet in. He understands that this isn't going to be built in 1 year, and he worked diligently with Coach Asbury the last 3 years. They'll rebuild this program. They've had a great recruiting class, 2 really good shooters. It won't be long before they're back. But can you imagine if all of those players had returned? We'd be talking about them with St. Mary's, Gonzaga, and BYU.
Absolutely. Hartsock, there's Zabuo. Charles sitting on 15 with just 2 here in the second half. Davies with 29. Battling Moore. Right hand. In and out. Kept alive. Lowry saves it to Baker. Scowen. He anticipated Davies. Had to change his shot.
Yes, he did.
Hartsock down low. 20 points for Hartsock. 29 for Davies. 49 for the big 2. Throw in Charles is 15, and there you have your magic number of 3 Cougars scoring points.
Well, in that last possession, what I really liked too was Mark Cusick throwing it in. They threw it back out. He got a deeper post touch, went right back into him. That's why he's in the basketball game right now. He understands his role.
Scowen fouling Cusick. That'll send Craig, a walk-on who started his career at the University of Utah out of Orem High School. And Craig Cusick will go to the line. We met his mother-in-law as we walked into the arena. In fact, she hugged both of us. And then later, she introduced herself as the mother-in-law of Craig Cusick and was very excited to watch him play tonight.
We're not really used to that kind of a reception. I thought it was one of your relatives that lived here in Southern Cal.
So did I. But because of BYU TV and its reach around the world, we are warmly received wherever we go, and that's nice.
That is nice.
A 15-point lead. That's the largest of the game for BYU. Darby, good-looking pass into Moore. And a strong finish.
It's good execution. There's only a minute left in the ball game, but they haven't gotten away with what they want to do. And that's a great example of a well-coached team. It's just not jacking shots up, trying to get back. They're running their offense still.
See if the Cougars find Davies a chance at 31 points tonight. Scowen reached. Grabbed a hold of Cusick, and that'll send Cusick back to the line. Number 2 on Scowen. Pepperdine's going to slip to 1-7 in the league with their 7th straight defeat. 7-12 overall. BYU's going to get to 17-5. 6-2 in the WCC. 4-2 away from Provo, and they're going to go a long ways from Provo to play at Virginia Tech on Wednesday night.
A team that's been struggling. They've lost their last 5 straight as well. So it's a place where if BYU plays well, they'll have an opportunity to win there. You know, I've been through what Marty Wilson's been through, and it's never easy going through this. But I am so impressed with how these guys are responding to him, and it's going to pay dividends in a year or two when these guys look back, and they'll remember these real difficult times when they get it turned around.
Good move by Baker. Darby on the finish. Quick timeout by Marty Wilson. There's some good coaches in this league. You talk about LMU and what Max Good has gotten done, and we watched him do his work at the Marriott Center back on Thursday.
There's some outstanding coaches here. Great effort offensively on the glass there. There are some outstanding coaches in this league. In fact, a lot of people, when you look at the national landscape, you look at the WCC and say, great coaches, great student athletes, young men that do what they're supposed to do on and off the court. And certainly Pepperdine, when you look at their tradition and pedigree, you just go down this entire conference, and it's really impressive. And I've played in almost all of these facilities except Gonzaga as a coach, and coached in those facilities. And it's a league that's respected, and certainly St. Mary's and Gonzaga have been in the national spotlight. Now BYU's there, and LMU and USF aren't that far behind right now.
Zylstra picks up his dribble, now in some trouble. Calls a timeout to avoid the turnover.
Timeout. It's a good feeling when you're 13 up and you can call a timeout with 26 seconds to go. You breathe a little bit easier, and we've talked about this. For a coach, these are the toughest kinds of games. These are the ones that kind of eat you inside and tear your gut apart, because you kind of, as a coach, sometimes kind of look at the negative. Oh, you know, what's the worst thing that can happen here? And a game that they're supposed to win, and supposed to win kind of easily. And it hasn't been easy tonight, and Pepperdine's had a lot to do with that.
Interesting, the last 2 games, what's happened with the guard line for BYU and its productivity. Good night Monday at San Diego. All around, Zylstra and Carlino especially. Virtually nothing Thursday, and again, virtually nothing offensively here tonight. Now, that's just 2 games in a row, but if it doesn't turn through Virginia Tech, you're coming into St. Mary's, and your guards have got to be wondering about their confidence.
Well, I'm sure there is a little bit of lack of confidence right now. You can see why they miss Stephen Rogers.
Yeah.
A young man that has nothing but confidence, and they need to get him healthy and back on the floor, because, you know, the thing I found in coaching 33 years is the best way that people learn lessons and work harder is when they have to come and sit down because maybe they're not performing. And they need Stephen Rogers to certainly come back and give him that, or DeMarcus Harrison to step up and practice and make a contribution. You know, Mark Cusick's been one of those guys on the road that's really been solid because he has that maturity. But you're absolutely right. The second half of this conference, it's going to be hard for them to achieve their goals if they don't get more production out of that guard line.
There's Stephen Rogers. He worked out today. They're hoping maybe to see some minutes out of him on Wednesday. Shot clock's off, and this is how the game's going to end. 77-64. It's the Cougar faithful rising to their feet and cheering their squad to a road victory in the WCC. 77-64.